Yo, what's up guys, BeatsbyHcien link. Is this your first time? And in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys 3 steps that you're going to use to make an Afrobeat drum pattern. You're going to use it to make your Afrobeat drum sound like the pros. You understand? And just so you know, there's no big secret in this. The only secret that you just have to know is sound selection. Once you select the right sound when you're making your beat, you're good to go. Because sometimes you realize that you make a very nice good drum loop, but it's not sounding hard as you want it to be. Then you have to check on your sounds. Select good sounds first before you think of the mixing. Mixing is only going to boost what you've done. So if you're using not good sound, when you mix, it's only going to pop out that this sound you're using is not good. So you want to invest in your sample packs. I have free sample packs. You can click the link in the description below to make sure you download yours, and it's free, and just start using it to make the beat. So I don't want to waste you guys time. Like I said, sound selection is the most important thing when you're trying to make your beat. So take your time to select good sounds, invest in good sounds, and let me show you the 3 steps that I did to come up with this nice drum loop. So this is the beat that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be playing it together with the instrument just so you see what it sounds like. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. So now when you're trying to make your drum loop, let's say you already have an instrument, and for this one I'm using this guitar loop, using this loop. So remember, the first step is picking your good samples that you want to use. One good way you can do this is also remaking beats. And when you're remaking your beats and you have your good drums, you can always save them as a template. As if you watch my previous video, Oxlade Ifa, these are the drums that I used to make that beat, and I just save it as a preset template, and that is what I'm using to make this beat. So that's one thing you can do when you're remaking beats. That's how you can get good samples. And I'll also show you another method that you can also use to get good sounds that sound together. So yeah, I already know that every sound here is sounding nice together because yes, it was used in a previous beat I showed you guys. So when you've selected your good sound, the first step, now the first thing you want to do is to first of all think, when you've listened to your instrumentals or whatever you played, what drum pattern do you want to use? And if you're still having issues with drum pattern, click this link where I showed you guys different drum patterns that you can use to make your beat. So for this particular instrumentals, I decided to go with this simple Afrobeat drum pattern. And you don't want to think about anything, just put the snare and the kick. First step, picking the first drum pattern you want to go for. So as you can see, this is like the basic. So this is like the first thing you want to do, and you can realize that some volume are low. So the essence of doing that is just to make sure that these 3 sound like one without one going higher than the other one. And also another technique that you can see here is me lowering some velocity, and that is how you can get good grooves. Velocity, when instead of it to do ka 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 ka, hitting on similar velocity. Once you're doing ka 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 ka, so you can see there's a groove in it, because Afrobeat is all about groove. And speaking about groove, you can also add in some groove swing if you want to, but in this particular one I decided not to do that, but you can do that as well. So you want to use your velocity, to give it a little bit of swing so it's not too robotic. You understand? Heavy, small, heavy, small, heavy, small, heavy. So you can see how I'm just playing around with it. And I just added a little bit of sound here, just to give it more groove. And the second step you want to do now, when you've gotten the first drum pattern that you're going for, the basic drum pattern that you're going for, you now want to start adding in some sounds. Like I said, every sound here I already know works together, because this is like a selection of sounds that I used in the previous remake that I made. And one secret that I do when I'm making this is I'm just basically trying to fix sound in between where there's nothing or where I feel like it gives this groove. You get, I don't really think much about it because I've already gotten the pattern I'm going for. So right now it's just basically fixing things, with time you get to understand this, so don't rush it, so now you've already made your first drum pattern. Now you want to start adding in some counter sounds that's going to help it to like sound better. So yeah, this is what I have for this one. And if you notice this time around, I'm adding in some little kicks in between the kick. What am I doing? I'm just basically trying to add groove. And you can notice those kicks that I'm adding up, I'm also bringing down the velocity just to give groove so it's not sounding too robotic. So that's the second step. You want to start adding in things, bringing down velocities. You can start to add a little bit of groove to your drums as well, to give swing. And you see, I added something here. So I'm just basically freestyling this. I'm not thinking much about it. I'm just going with my instinct. Don't worry, over time it will come. Just try to always remake beats. And over time, you just know how to do all of this. And if you notice in this hi-hat, I added a little bit of delay inside it. You can see that around here. I added a little bit of delay around this, and the essence of this delay is just basically to add more groove to it. You understand? So after doing that, the next thing I did was adding like a conga bass. I'm using this conga to also play a little bit of bass groove to it. So what am I doing? I'm still adding more groove to my sound, and this is what it sounds like together with the drums. And this is not magic. I'm just basically playing the root note of the chord progression that is being played. And I'm just basically going octave up, octave down, like I always say. So that's essence. That's what I was just basically doing here, so you don't get confused. And I'm just using this conga. This is actually a conga, and I'm just playing it as a bass. I'm just trying to add more groove to the beat. And at this part as well, you want to start adding in some nice SFX sound and rolls just to get a feel of what is going to sound like when the whole beat is done. So I added some SFX sounds with the drums. So this is like the second step. So let's play it together with the instrument. So you can see the second step is just basically adding more sounds and play around. Like I said, the first thing you have to do is to get your drum pattern that you feel you want to use for that particular instruments that you've played. You get me? Then the second step, start adding groove. You can add groove to your kicks. You can add some new percussions. Just over time you get used to it. So when you've done the second step, the third thing you want to do is to now bring in percussion loops that fits in. You understand? Because percussion loops to me helps to give your drums more groove. You understand? I feel like this is one thing that most of the pro producers they do. You understand? So there's no crime in using loops. Do you get me? Because you've already structured down the drum pattern that you want for yourself. So you have to now start to add some drum loops, percussion loops that doesn't have kick, so that it doesn't affect or change the dynamics of your kick. So when you're selecting your percussion loops, you're making sure there is no kick in it. So this was like the first one that I added. And you see I pan it to the left. And I added a hit as well. And the next thing I did was adding another percussion loop. And I panned this a little bit to the right. You can see the difference it makes. This was it without the percussion loops. not bad, but we needed something that will be driving the beat, you know, because the beat just seems to be hitting just steady. So we needed something that will be moving the beat. You understand? After that, I added another one and I pan it a little bit to the left as well. And just so you know, I've not really added anything to my drums. You know, see my drums, there's nothing there. There's no effect there. The only effect that I have is our bass that I use on my conga bass to bring it up a bit. Do you get? So you see, sound selection, like I said, is very important. Like you can hear around here, I didn't even add any sound. It's just basically what you're hearing direct from the samples that I've chosen. So you want to take sound selection really serious. And how do you get better at that? Just basically remaking beats, trying to select sounds from the beat that you're hearing, trying to select your own sounds that sound close to what you are hearing. And over time, you start saving your own template so that you can easily get drums that work together. And let me show you guys another method that you can use, just a quick one. You can create a MIDI clip, for instance, and let's say you're trying to look for drums that work together. You can just go to your percussion loops, for instance. Let's go to BeatsbyHcien Attire Premium. You can just go to drum loop and you can just pick this one, for instance. Let's say you like this drums, so you can drop in a simpler. Then you just drag in the loop, then you click on slice. So this will automatically slice them. So you already know that this drum loop that you are listening to, everything sounds good. And one other thing, always try to tune your percussions. What do I mean? When you drop your percussion sound, sorry for skipping what I was about to show you, but this is important. That's why on every of my drums, on every of my MIDI clip, there's a tuner there. When you drop in whatever conga, whatever thing you're trying to play, make sure you can see like minor is on key. Really important. So that this is going to help you when you are playing on your keys, trying to like use a particular conga or a particular percussion to add groove to whatever you're making. Everything will be on key. Do you get me? So everything is going to sound uniform, like everything will sound together. So it's very important you try to tune your percussions. Don't just drag and drop your percussion and start playing. Do you get me? So that was very important. I had to call that out. And yeah, let's go back to these. So you get to realize that everything here, because once you put them on your simpler and you click on this slice, this it's going to like share each of these things to you. So you can do. So yeah, so my advice for when you are doing this, you want to make sure you are picking in a sound that doesn't have kick, that doesn't have low end. So that way you can also try to create your own low end. Like this particular one that has low end. So when I'm trying to do you can hear kick there. I can EQ it as well, but it's going to affect every other thing. So make sure when you're doing this method, in order for your sounds to sound alike, just make sure that you're picking something that doesn't have low end. Just a quick one for you guys. I don't want, this is not supposed to be a long video, because actually making your drum sound like a pro or Afrobeat drum pattern sound like the pros is just basically a sound selection, picking the drum pattern you want to use, adding some grooves, and most importantly for me, add some percussion loops underneath. And this is what we have together with everything that we've done. So yeah, that's basically it. You can see how easy it is to like drop some drum pattern. Like I said, if you still don't know how drum pattern works, you can click the link above, try to watch a video and see the different drum pattern that I made for you guys. And also, if you're having issues with music theory, like I always say, is one of the most important thing in making music, then just make sure you click this link and watch the video. Join my Telegram channel where I'll be dropping exclusive content if you haven't joined yet. And yeah, that's basically it for me. Until I catch you guys in the next video. Peace.